Hey y'all, so I got another freaking story time. So currently I'm at work. Hold on. Currently I'm at work. I'm gonna turn up my air a little bit, y'all. So y'all hear anything, that's my air. Currently I'm at work. I'm sitting in my truck and I got a story time. Another story time. Again. So let's get into it. I slipped my chin back a little bit. So okay, so Lord. This past Friday, April 3rd, I had to work 5 to 1:30. Right? Cool. I really don't have a problem with working the morning shift. Working the morning shift, that's not a problem for me at all. Don't mind working the morning shift because I can go on about my day. I can enjoy the rest of my day. Cool. Boom. So I was running late. Getting to work. I got here by like 5:06. I clock in from my phone, so I clock in. One, I could not find the key to the back down the room door. I thought I put it in my purse. It was in my other scrub top. I found it whenever I did laundry. So anywho, I knocked on this other door that we have. It's a white door. I knocked on that door. Got let in by the cook. And I just got started with my morning, getting everything, together for the morning, getting the coffee and the coffee urns, and putting everything they need to go on the carts, on top of carts, as far as like the salt and pepper, the coffee cups, all that good stuff. So, my coworker, she asked me to plug up her earphones she asked me that I have a charge. I said, yeah. Put on my charge, I plugged up her earphones. Cool beans. So, I was like, once the coffee maker was ready, I just started focusing on getting all 3 of the coffee urns filled up with coffee and getting them on the carts. So, as I was like waiting on, because I had one filled up, boom, put that one on the cart, waiting on the other one, waiting on the coffee for the other one to, get filled up. Coworker, she just, she's doing her thing, getting breakfast together, all that good jazz, all that good stuff, right? Okay. So, I grabbed the 3 trays that we have for the cereal, and I got the cereal bowls and put them on the table. Went to the pantry. I got the 3 bags of cereals that I was going to use to do the cereal for the residents, for the halls. I did all that, had all that ready. And I grabbed the lids. I got a permanent marker so I can write the initials of the cereal on the marker and the date. So I got started, with that. I heard 2 voices. I heard 2 voices. I heard a male voice. I heard a female voice. Cool. Then I think nothing of, because it's male CNAs that work out here as well, and they do work the morning shift. So I didn't think nothing of it. So they was talking. I was like, okay, they ain't number CNAs. They talking. I'm assuming that they taking out the trash. Mind you, I'm really not paying. I'm sort of kind of paying attention, but I'm also focusing on what I'm doing. I'm getting the cereal ready and prepared to go on the cart. Coffee cups was already out there, so all I had to do was just do the cereal and the other 2 coffee mugs. So, I'm just working, and then like something in my head saying, that's not CNAs. Pay attention. Listen closely. So I was paying attention and I was listening, but I wasn't listening. And I realized that those voices was talking on the microwave, not microwave, the microphone. Mind you, the microphone and the speaker is in the dining room. It's pitch black in the dining room. Like, there isn't no lights on. This is about 5:30, pushing 6 o'clock. So it's dark in the dining room. So the voices, they was on the microphone, and like I can hear them talking. I was like, okay. I'm like, it's too early in the morning for this. Maybe you tripping. So I continued on with my job, doing the cereal for the carts. And then like I heard the woman say, well, what are we gonna do about them? For my husband said, what are we gonna do about them? And I continued on. I minded my business. I don't know what he said. I heard that part because like I paused and I was listening. And then I went back to fixing the cereal. Mind you, each tray needs I put 12 bowls of cereal. Well, we do 12 bowls of cereal for each tray. So I just went back to doing my job, put the lids on there, wrote the initials of the cereal, put the date. The last thing I heard, as I was like, I had everything ready. I was just writing the names on the cereal. So, I paused and I locked in one last time and I heard the female voice say, this is our house. And then after that, ain't hear nothing else. Conversation was over with. That was the end of it. And I said to myself as I heard that, I literally said out loud but lowly to myself, I said, oh hell no, I got to go. Knowing doggone well I cannot leave. Because I'm the morning aide. I cannot leave. Now, this the part that I left out before I even got started on the story. My coworker, she went to the bathroom. She was in the bathroom the entire time this went on. Like, and that they had a good conversation for like a good 5-10 minutes. She was in the bathroom for that long. I think she was on her phone or something. But like, after I said what I said lowly to myself, I said, oh hell no, I got to go. Yeah, morning shifts ain't for me. And after I said that, after I heard that voice, that female voice say, yeah, this is our house, I kid you not, my coworker walked out of the bathroom. She walked out of the bathroom and I did my job. I put the trays of cereal on the carts. And then I finished up with the last 2 coffee urns. And then I went in the dining room. It was still pitch black. I was like, I said to myself, I'm not going nowhere near that speaker and that microphone because I don't know what type of energy, I don't know what type of spirit is around it. So I was like, I'm saying to myself, I'm not turning on no light. No, and I did not turn on that light. I stood because we have a dresser that's full of tablecloths. I stood over there by that dresser. I counted each table and I went in the drawer. I went in the drawers and I pulled out 10 tablecloths and I laid all 10 tablecloths on the table. Now, it's this one table where this one resident where he sits at. I got the tablecloth, I opened it up, and I put it on the table. As I was opening up the tablecloth to put on the table, I literally felt a cold chill run down my spine. I said, I said a prayer. I said, God, I don't know whatever spirit it is that's up in here with me right now. But yeah, that spirit, it got to go. So I continued on with putting the tablecloth on the table. And when I got to the last table at the top of the dining room, the microphone, I clearly heard something clear its throat. Like throat was being cleared. And I said, oh no, not right now. And then that was it. Because after that, I put that tablecloth on that table and I got right back in that kitchen. And then after that, I ain't had nothing else to do. And because my job for getting everything ready for breakfast was besides the juice that needed to go on the cart, and I wasn't like putting that juice on the cart yet because we still had like a whole, by this time about like 6, so we still had a whole hour to go before breakfast. So the juice and the milk that stayed in the cooler, it stayed in the cooler until it was time for start service, which is about like 7:15. But yeah, this is why, and that's the end of my story time. But I just want to say this because I'm finna get to go back in and get ready for dinner for tonight. This is why I say now I hate working the morning shifts, because every time I work the morning shift, something weird always happens to me. Like, kid you not, I'm always having like these paranormal activities going on. I really do believe that my job is hunted like with spirits. I do believe that it's spirits walking this building, because the things I have seen and the things I have heard in this building, besides what I just told y'all, like that's like my first time like fully hearing like a full-on conversation. But I have heard like a male voice yell out, "Oh Lord," a coworker just hit me loud. She think I just, I literally heard a male voice several times as I'm in the dish room working, scream out, "Hey!" So something always weird like that happens to me every time I'm either working the morning shift or I'm working the night shift. Like if I'm working the night shift and I'm here by myself and I'm rolling the silverware, and I'm like even if I'm looking at something will literally, like if I'm watching something on my phone, something will literally tell me to look straight up at the door, and I would literally look straight towards that back door, and I would literally see like a black figure standing back there, and like it's so weird. And I really think like my third eye is trying to open a little bit more, and I don't want it to. Because there's been many times where I have been the morning cook, and as I'm like standing at the steam table, or like standing around the steam table just like lollygagging, before like I even pull out the items that I need for breakfast, and then whenever I start pulling out the items that I need for breakfast, because where I be standing at, I can literally see out into the dining room over to the exit door. Every time I look towards the exit door, I'm always seeing like a black figure, a black shadow, always. And it's always so weird, and it's always me. Like, I mean, my other coworker, she have experienced these paranormal activities as well. So we were talking about this at work yesterday, and I told her the exact same story that I'm telling y'all. But it seemed like for me, it's always something paranormal going on around me. Like, I don't know. I really believe that this entire building is haunted because so many people have passed on. So many people have passed on here in this building, and I've been working for almost 3 years, and a lot of residents have passed on since I have been here. And it's so weird. Like anytime I work, something paranormal always goes on. That's why like at night, like whenever I get finished and like I had like a couple of minutes to spare, I would literally just sit on my phone. I would not look up. I would sit on my work phone, or I would come out here and I would sit in my truck and I wait until 7 o'clock, and then I clock out and then I go home. Because something weird is always happening to me at work. Anyway, that's it. Thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I know my lips is ashy. That's why I've been licking my lips. I don't have, gotta give me some lip gloss or some Carmex or something. And don't mind this little mark. I had a bump there. I did not have a pimple patch, so I popped it in. It left a little ugly scar, and I have another one, I think, right here. And I have one here. If you know, I know. If you know, you know. Anytime it's that time of the month, acne for me happens. But okay, that's it. I gotta get back in so I can get back to work. Because I got a job that I gotta fulfill before 7 o'clock. And I'm now moving my seat back up because I'm short. I'm short. So, yeah, that's my little story time. Alright. Love you guys. See you guys in the next video. Bye.